Says Big Sisters, Chapter 4, Ultimatum. Oh no. Everybody's gonna die, isn't there? No, I don't think this is the ultimatum. Oh, thank goodness. The next day was bright and sunny. She heard birds twittering as she flew out her window and over her backyard before landing in the streets behind her house. Charlie and Trixie were already there, and raindrops waved to them once he landed. We ready? Charlie nodded briskly. I looked at the resident statues last night. Mary Scrolls has the authority to order a non-resident out of Ponyville, especially since she's been documented harassing locals. This should only take a few moments. Good. Raindrops began to walk towards the mayor's office. Now let's go. They walked a few minutes before Raindrops saw the boulder-like juggernaut step out of the stairwell next to Noteworthy's shop and trot towards them. Her sword was at her side, as she had a large saddlebag dangling over her back. Raindrops! Aye! No! Raindrops looked away from her. Not a chance! But... Trixie reared back on back close. Excuse me, the showman protested, but the honest and honorable Raindrops has made it quite clear she will not agree to duel you, no matter how often you ask her. She smirked. There is no argument you can make, no threat you can impose, no price you can pay that will change her mind. Juggernaut was silent for a few moments before tilting her head. No price? None. Raindrops rolled her eyes. Not gonna fight you, even if you offer me 2 super-duper fancy wing armor things. Or even if you stay here for a month and a half, so you could just... Juggernaut's face brightened. Then I offer 20,000 bits for duel, she said. All 3 mayors stared at her. 20,000, gasped Trixie. Where in Equestria did you get that kind of money? Juggernaut's smile gleamed. I struck his money in Equestria, as Professor say himself, and he paid a lot of money, so nobody can buy me away. She sifted her saddlebag and opened it, revealing that it was full of silver bits. Not enough? I paid 30,000 if Raindrops dueled me. Trixie opened her mouth to say something else, but Raindrops spoke first. Seriously? You think you can pay me to fight you? She tried not to think about how that money could help remodel her family's old, cramped house, or enable her to have special horseshoes commissioned to allow Snails walk on clouds like the rest of his family, or allow her to take a few months off of work and away from Rainbow Dash. No deal! Not for 30,000 or any other price! She sped up, with Trixie and Charlie racing to keep pace with her, and Juggernaut following more sedately. They raced inside City Hall in moments, and Raindrop stopped short of the door when she heard voices from inside. Scrolls is inside, she announced. Good. You might as well get on the train now, Juggernaut, because... The door slammed open, bonking Raindrops' muzzle, and Mayor Scroll stormed out. Applejack and Carrot Top exited behind her, both talking at once. I know I ain't much of fancy mathematics, said the apple farmer, but Big Mac's graphs should make it real clear. We can do more with the land. The farming union is trying to expand. We can use, and let's not forget the trust has all the equipment needed to clear that field. The union has more than enough pony power to... Enough! Screamed Scrolls. Everybody stared at her, even Juggernaut, as the mayor glared at both farmers. I should not remind either of you, she said in a whole heavy voice, but the last time you two feuded, your respective farms were almost destroyed due to a lack of capital and collapse of your consumer base, respectively. As she trotted towards the farmer around her back to the entrance of City Hall. I'm astounded you two would be so eager to court disaster again. Well, ain't no disaster, protested Applejack. You fully intend to sue if I rule against you, said Mayor Scrolls. Regardless of the undeniable fact, you would risk a consumer backlash even worse than the last one. And you, she turned to Carrot Top, I'd also consider suing if I rule for Applejack, though you would certainly bankrupt yourself if you lost the suit. No pony spoke for several seconds. Eventually, Applejack said, Mayor Scrolls, with all due respect, I really don't see what business any of this is yours. All you need to do is rule, it is my business because I am the mayor of this town, snapped Scrolls. Both your farms are vitally important to Ponyville. You do understand this, I trust. The farmers looked at each other. Of course, said Carrot Top. I know my farm contributes a lot to the Union and to Ponyville in general, and Applejack does too. It's an honor and a privilege to feed Ponyville, Applejack added. That's the code I live by, and I'm sure Carrot Top here feels the same way. Mayor Scrolls nodded. Then I trust you see why I have a vested interest in stopping either of you from wrecking your prospective businesses because of this ridiculous rival you two have. She took a deep breath. And furthermore, I consider you both my friends. On a personal level, I don't want either of your farms to fail, and so I implore both of you to work this out without lawsuits. As he moved to the door of City Hall, I am legally obligated to render a decision by noon tomorrow. I will fulfill my duties. But I would very much appreciate if you could strike some kind of compromise before then, in order to abbreviate my ruling and spare both of you, plus the entire village, what we all know would be a ruinous loss for all concerned. Carrot Top looked like she wanted to protest more, but Trixie, Cheerily, and Raindrops walked up behind her, and Cheerily embraced her in a hug. Now that she mentioned it, a compromise wouldn't be that bad, would it? As the magenta mare, then you both could get more than you have now. She smiled at both of them, and neither of you would be run out of town. That's the base case, isn't it? Both farmers eyed each other for a long moment before Carrot Top went away, and Applejack falls suit a moment later. We'll try, the apple farmer said. No problems, but we'll get a shot. Fine. Carrot Top stepped forwards and reluctantly bumped to us with Applejack. That's all I ask. Mayor Scrolls nodded briskly. There's nothing else. I suggest you get to it. I have a meeting and... Raindrops flew up and landed in front of the farmers. Wait, she said. We got a problem for you too. She gestured at Juggernaut, who had quietly watched the farmers argue without saying anything. That mare's from out of town, and she's been doing nothing but bothering me since she showed up yesterday. We want her gone. I looked at Juggernaut, who approached Mayor Scrolls. I trust no shepherd, she said. I break no law. All I do is ask Raindrops to noodle me. She is knight. I have right to do this. Only if you're also a knight, said Cheerily. I am, Juggernaut smiled. Minister of War have power to knight one pony. He chose me. She turned back to Scrolls. So I can ask for doodle as many times as I want. You asked me 5 or 6 times yesterday alone, snapped Raindrops. You followed me around. You broke into my house. Your family asked me inside, the Juggernaut shrugged. It's illegal, and I want doodle. Applejack hesitated, as if reluctant to get involved, but then said, Juggernaut also made my little sister powerful dizzy after giving her a horseback ride, Mayor. She says she will tonight, protested Juggernaut. She says she in a hurry, and I need go fast. Her friend with goat, like right bullets, and maiden like Bruce Grape also says she will go fast, so I run. I will fast out in Russian first. Scroll sighed. Applejack, she said. It sounds like the incident with Apple Bloom was just an unfortunate misunderstanding. Was Apple Bloom injured? Applejack shook her head. Well, she walked it off. I'll see. And Raindrops, has this pony done anything illegal whatsoever? Raindrops clenched her jaw. Not exactly, she had to admit. But she's annoying. I can't throw a pony out of town just because she's annoying. Scrolls was silent for a few moments before turning to Juggernaut. What do you plan to do in town, anyways? As the Raindrops on Futura does he say da, said Juggernaut. And buy things. She opened her saddlebag again, as Scrolls cleared decided. Buy many things. Pay most sales tax. Seriously, asked Trixie. You could barely speak equestrian, but you know what sales tax is. Raindrops took a step forward until she was standing in front of Mayor Scrolls. You can't be serious about her. She has no business here. By definition, if she wants to buy things, she does in fact have business here. Scrolls turned to go back inside. As he didn't, as I said, I cannot and will not ban a pony from Ponyville just for invoking her legal right to challenge the Knight of the Realm to the duel. I'm sorry, but your request to evict this pony is denied. She stepped into the city hall and shut the door behind her, leaving the elements to exchange worried glances, while Juggernaut beamed. Thanks for it, ventured Trixie to Applejack. The 5 mares had retreated to Trixie's home and holed up in the office. Raindrops knew she would be late for work, but seeing as how her assignment was just to follow Juggernaut around, she had a feeling work was going to come to her. Yeah, she managed. Thanks, AJ. Ain't nothing, Applejack frowned. Even if the thing with Little Bloom was an accident, the way she's bothered. If you let me know if she's giving you more trouble, I can ask Big Mac to try to knock us a sense to her, like she did those darn mafia boys that tried to fool Aunt Lakey. I could get some farmhands from the Union to help too, said Carrot Top. But if we have to. But in the meantime, Applejack nodded. Guess we owe it to the mayor to try working this field thing out. Want to talk at my place? Big Mac's a Bruce, my TC Apple Tea. I think he's got all the facts and figures about that field ready too. Carrot Top looked enthusiastic. I guess so. Unless you need more help with Juggernaut, she asked the others. Trixie shook her head. We'll work it out. You two go negotiate. When the farmers had left, Shirley arose. I have to get to school soon, she said. Trixie, how are your other plans for Juggernaut coming along? I telegraphed to Canterlot to see if Russia has a new noble yet, so we could just ask him or her. She thought for a moment. Fisher had a son. Adelaide is supposed to be a pretty good guy, if he's the pickling. Otherwise, I'll just write Luna like I usually do, when there's something I can't handle. So you're dead. Raindrop smiled, even though she knew it wasn't one of her better jokes. Hey! I write her once every few days at most, and only to ask for her help with really important problems like late bourbon shipments. Trixie grinned and got up. You can hang out here as long as you want, although I do technically have some work I'm supposed to do today, so I really can't talk long. Raindrop shook her head. No, I'll go to work, which is literally following Juggernaut around. Raindrop sighed. But don't worry, I'll try to get a few more hours without punching her. That's the spirit, Trixie grinned. And hey, feel free to help yourself to a bourbon or two, if you'll help. She paused. Nothing top shelf, of course, but... Raindrop grinned and threw a pillow at her. I'm fine, she said. See you later. She flew to the door, braced herself, and sat outside. I challenge you to do! Said Juggernaut from just beyond Trixie's fence. The winner took a deep breath. Just a few more hours, she thought, it will be over. As Raindrops expected, Juggernaut did little for the next few hours, except wander through town. Occasionally challenge her to a duel, make a couple of purchases, punch Quillpen in the face. When lunchtime rolled around, she returned to Sugar Cube Corner. I buy pies. How many pies? Asked Pinky. One wagon of pies. Juggernaut took a double hooful of bits and put it on it. Just, what's on Sunday? Pinky's eyes brightened. She chirped. One wagon of pies and one Sunday coming up. Raindrop scowled. She had just followed Juggernaut inside, as per her follow Juggernaut everywhere assignment, and was idly looking over the cakes. Since when is wagon a human measure? She asked. Since Juggy shut up, Pinky beamed. She's a great pie eater. Like, she can almost beat my record. Raindrops, who had seen Pinkie Pie consume enough sweets to paralyze an elephant without batting an eye, winced. Juggernaut wagon of pies to the field by the schoolhouse, where the foals were all waiting for her. Raindrops frowned when she saw that many of them were wearing white. Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon had actual martial arts uniforms, but many of the other foals were wearing blankets, cloaks, and snails! Cried Raindrops when she saw her brother. Is that my fluffy bathrobe? Snails, who almost swallowed inside the voluminous robe, nodded. He said. Before she left yesterday, Juggernaut said she's doing some training with us today, and every party knows you wear white when you're training in martial. But Raindrops saw mud and water dripping from the bottom of her favorite robe. Snails had evidently watching some puzzle wearing it. But she was cut off by Juggernaut, who drew her sword. The foals squealed with joy and grabbed fakely sword-shaped sticks. The unicorns held them with telekinesis, while the other ponies gripped them in their mouths. Juggernaut pointed her hires up and then yelled, First position! She struck forwards, as did all the foals. You see, this is why I prefer archery. I don't need to use my mouth for it. I can just shoot with my wings. Raindrops choked. The snail stumbled on his giant bathrobe and failed. Almost poked himself with a stick. Charlie! She called to Magenta Mare, who was sitting on the stairs of the schoolhouse. Do something! Charlie gave her a helpless look. I tried, she said. After school yesterday, I told her to leave my students alone. But the PTA overruled me this morning and decided that the foals should be offered martial arts training by an expert during recess. But you're an expert, protested Raindrops. You're my teacher, for Luna's sake. You don't need her. You can do it. Not according to the PTA, Charlie growled, or at least spoiled Ritz, the PTA's president, which I'm sure has nothing to do with Juggernaut spending a ridiculous amount of money at the Ritz's family's barnyard bargains last night. Juggernaut didn't seem to notice the argument. Next position, she called, slashing her sword out, and struck a boulder just ready to shatter it, and the foals cheered. Strike, little ponies! Strike like discarded bear! The foals followed suit, a few tripping and poking each other, but most swinging their swords successfully. Raindrops cringed as Snails snapped his stick into Raindrop's robe and grabbing her gas in it. Choking back her anger, she forced herself to fly away.
Raindrops, I might have some bad news.
I turned to Trixie and felt a scowl creeping over her features. Her shift would end in minutes. A Juggernaut had gone to Heavy Ruler's wagon shop to purchase a new pie wagon. Raindrops glanced at the mirror through the window of the store and turned back to Trixie. What? Show me our weekly way to telegram over telekinesis.
The new Russian noble wrote me back, she said, and it's not quite what we wanted. But it's not the end of the world. It's just...
Raindrops snatched the telegram and opened it. Dear representative Lunamoon, I have received your notice that a citizen of my province is annoying one of your friends. However, I do not feel it is an appropriate use of my power to force an equestrian citizen to relocate herself simply because her presence is objectionable to a knight. As such, I will be taking no action. Sincerely, Archduchess Savelt Lord Fisher. She scowled. Who's Savelt? You said some guy Antelope would take over.
Antelope is Fisher's son, but apparently they can't find him. He's probably in hiding with his dad. Sut was Fisher's wife and representative of Stalingrad. She's not a bad pony, but she's really cynical. Something really bad happened to her in Stalingrad. I don't know the details, but I heard that's how she lost her horn. And when I talked to her a couple of years ago, she more or less told me she thinks ponies are inherently corrupt. I don't think she's made a single friend in years.
Trixie started a memory.
Anyways, she probably figured our request was just 2 ponies that Luna favors asking one of our government contacts to get rid of a pony we personally find annoying, since that's how she sees the world.
Raindrop's mouth moved silently for a moment. The only person corruption from the government. We've gone so far the other way that the nobles aren't doing useful things because they're worried it might be corrupt. She thumped her head against the window of Roller's shop. Terrific!
So alright, Luna.
Trixie carefully braced Raindrops.
Trixie is your friend, remember? She'll solve this.
Hope so, Raindrops mans, because I'm getting really tired of this. If it doesn't stop soon. She trailed off. She didn't need to explain what would happen if she lost control to Dust Deck Juggernaut. She didn't need to. Being arrested for assault would be the very least of her problems.
Maybe you should just take a few days off, suggested Trixie. Go out of town.
Raindrops shook her head. I have to take Snails with me, so that Juggernaut couldn't do something crazy like hold him hostage. I don't want to worry him. He's been through a lot lately. I just want to be happy and have fun with his bugs. Not have for some brute and try him a hoofing in a hotel with... Juggernaut stepped out of his wagon shop with a heavy-duty wagon trailing behind. Raindrops! The mayor called. You're ready to do now. Raindrops sighed and looked at Trixie.
Get Luna as soon as you can, okay?
She asked before flying into the air and heading home. 17, gasped Snails as he pushed himself off the ground. 18, 19. Raindrops frowned as she flew into her backyard and saw her little brother doing push-ups. His Beetle was in front of him, doing push-ups as well, albeit twice as quickly as Snails. She watched it raise a leg and clacked his mandibles, and Snails nodded. Right, gotta go faster. Snails? Raindrops flew down to his side. What are you doing? The Colt grinned when he saw her, staggered back to his sinking hose. Practicing, he said. Juggernaut said that if we worked out like she did, we would become big and strong. Raindrops gathered Snails into a hug. Maybe I could exercise with you, she offered. I'm pretty tough myself. She grinned and flexed a wing. Really? Snails beamed. That'd be awesome. When I might be ready by Saturday. The weatherman froze. What's on Saturday? She asked. Juggernaut agreed to do special training in the park with me. I asked if she could give me extra help this weekend, and she said yes! Snails' horn sparked, and his eyes shone with excitement. Isn't that awesome? I get to train with one of the most awesome fighters in Equestria for a whole day. I mean, she's not as awesome as you, but she's still pretty awesome. She chopped down that dead tree by Lily's shop with a single cut. Raindrop's heart pounded. As he agreed to this, Snails would be spending the whole day with Juggernaut, who could reveal her whole purpose in town, to avenge her brother by beating Raindrops in the dirt, and horrify him. If she refused to allow him to go, Snails would know something was wrong anyway. Once he could get Juggernaut out of town by then, which was looking less and less likely by the hour. Snails was going to suffer. Dropsy? Snails frowned as he wiggled out of Raindrop's hug. Raindrops didn't trust herself to speak for several moments. Her thoughts were too full of visions of her strangling Juggernaut. Snails? She menacingly finished. Could you go inside, please? You need to wash up. But I'm not getting strong yet, Snails protested. Alright. Raindrops gave him a long look, and his voice trailed off. The Hercules beetle jumped back into his mane as he slowly walked inside. When he was gone, Raindrops punched the hoof to the ground, driving her leg down almost up to the knee. Luna, she muttered to herself, I know you're our princess, and I'm supposed to love and honor you, but I'm just saying, you better come through! The sun had set by the time Raindrops returned to Trixie's house. She once again entered through the front door and reached the living room, where she had heard a lively debate.
I know he's a jerk, but I'm just saying, the whole martial law was to protect us, right?
Trixie said before Lyra caught up.
If we could find him and tell him what Juggernaut's doing, wouldn't he try to call her off? The sailboats and guards have been hunting him for a week, said Shirley. If they can't find him, I don't think we'll have any better luck. Then what about Greengrass? Ventured Ditzy. Maybe he could run one of his games on Juggernaut.
Trixie snorted.
Even if he wasn't a total scumbag. He lost all his influence, remember? He can't do anything.
Shirley brightened. There's Baron Max. He worked with us at Carolot. If we wrote him, maybe he could help.
How? By bucking Juggernaut in the face? Asked Trixie. I've heard that's how he solves most of his problems, but that's not really applicable here. And even if he did, Juggernaut would kick him back, and the Duchess Posey would send 10 feet of snow to Ponyville for getting her cult friend killed.
She turned slightly, and Raindrops' eyes met her.
Raindrops, hi!
The Lettermare's glare silenced her. I'm guessing Luna's response wasn't good. Okay. We've tried the government. We've tried the princess. Okay, my plan. We meet up with Juggernaut. I put my Planeswalker ring on her and teleport her straight to Strixhaven. She may be a unicorn, but she's no match for a whole horde of mages. The other mayors in the room all looked at each other before Trixie took a telegram off the table.
My faceless did it, yada yada yada. I will of course intervene if you genuinely believe Juggernaut may assault Raindrops or any other pony in Ponyville. However, if this is not the case, I would encourage you to continue searching for your own solution to the problem. I believe that you and your friends are more than capable of devising a method of removing this intruder from your town without violence.
Trixie paused for a moment, but Ditzy nudged her, and she sighed and continued.
A double of my court is expected to be creative and resourceful, able to effectively deal with small problems in a province without requiring support of the crown. Please bear this in mind before you decide that Juggernaut is truly an insurmountable obstacle.
Nobody said anything for a moment. The Raindrop snapped. In other words, because Trixie has political ambitions, Luna thinks we should be able to handle this without her. Except we can't, so Juggernaut's going to camp out town forever.
No.
The showmare sighed.
Trixie will write back to Luna and inform her that we have tried everything and failed. Surely she will not take 2 months less than Trixie.
She was silent for a few moments.
Besides, what's a double title when friends are suffering? We'll support you, said Ditzy. We have right of approach.
Yeah, then Ditzy could proceed to use to convince Luna to nuke Quillpen. And we are kind of stopping Corona from taking over, said Lyra. That's gotta be worth something, and... No! Everybody turned to look at Raindrops. The yellow-colored mare scowled, but continued. You're not sacrificing your political career over this. If Luna won't help, I'll find another way. She felt a tinge of anger building inside her. Raised that everything had failed, and once again she had to protect herself and her brother from some thoughtless brute who didn't care so long as she hurt, as long as she got what she wanted, but managed to push it aside. See you all tomorrow. She made it to the front yard before Trixie caught up with her.
Raindrops,
I'm not mad at you, said Raindrops. A light rain was starting to fall, but Raindrops barely noticed as she walked on when Trixie following. It's Juggernaut I'm mad at. Well, her and all the other ponies who apparently don't think this matters. Her eyes blazed. My brother was frightened out of his mind in Carolot. He was almost killed. Now I have to worry about him finding out this Juggernaut wants to beat me to a pulp? She scowled. How am I supposed to tell him that this new pony he thinks is so awesome is practically here to knock my muzzle in? I can't! Something moved in the darkness behind her. Trixie raindrops jumped back as the shadowy, bulky figure rose up. It was so still, and it just seemed like a huge bump at first. A broken down wagon or a pile of trash carelessly fallen out of the cart. But when moved, its bulk remained clear who it was. You not tell Snails why I'm here? Asked Juggernaut. You not want him to know?
Hey!
Trixie flushed.
Why are you sulking around like that?
Juggernaut just ignored her. My brother not stop hurting until we fight, dear Raindrops. You be not at peace until I beat you. She stepped closer, shadow stitching in her body. We will fight.
Never.
Raindrops screamed, she keep crying. Not a million years. The next time your brother leaves the house, I will tell him why I'm here. There was no edge of cruelty in Juggernaut's tone. She sounded as if she was calmly describing a useful chess tactic, not something that could traumatize a fool. You understand? Raindrops tensed, and only Trixie's legs suddenly wrapped around her middle, stopped her from leaping at Juggernaut's face. The other mare turned to go. I see you tomorrow.
Raindrops,
whispered Trixie as she hugged the other mare.
Raindrops, stay calm. If you just hit her, she can hit you back. Snails will be happy if you wind up in the hospital.
I know! Sobbed Raindrops. I know! But apparently there's nothing I can do about it. She struggled against Trixie's grip. All I was to protect him. Is that too much to ask? Trixie hugged her further.
Just don't do anything rash, she whispered. He Snails home tomorrow. I'll clear it materially. We can work this out. I pinky promise, okay?
Raindrops said nothing.
Okay,
urged Trixie.
Please, Raindrops,
okay. Raindrops heard her voice, as if from a distance, realized how toneless it was. She had already given up. I'll stay home with Snails tomorrow. Trixie hugged her for a few more seconds before letting go.
All right, we'll think of some ideas. If all else fails, I'll tell Luna we really do need your help. Sounds good?
She waited until Raindrops nodded, then smiled.
You mean to walk you home?
Raindrops shook her head and flapped her wings. I'll fly, she muttered. See you tomorrow. She soared high into the air and began moving towards her family's home. The friends, she thought, would try their very hardest to find a way to deal with Juggernaut. Well, they wouldn't succeed. There were too many factors working against them. Juggernaut was going to traumatize their brother all over again. There was absolutely no money could